Practice exercise 6-1, solid editing commands, CAD 118. We're going to take a look at this exercise 6-1 in which we'll use these extrude and taper commands to create this arch-shaped handle. If we take a look from the textbook, the exercise is located on page 187. We've got AutoCAD set up and running. We're going to open up practice exercise 6-1.dwg. So we'll come back over here to our D2L. We'll download, open the file. And I'm going to switch these screens. And so here we have the 2 feet of the arch that we're going to extrude. And so we're going to extrude the top face, a height of 240 millimeters, taper angle of +5. So we're going to go to the extrude command. Now if we take this out of wireframe, we can see, and I'm not real fond of this color here, so I'm going to change that in the layer properties. And let's go with a dark green. And so now that we have this object, and let's put a line weight on this too. And so a lot of times what I'll do here is I'll turn on the menu bar, tools, toolbars, AutoCAD, modeling. And so as we take a look at some of these things, we also want to put a toolbar on for properties. It's redundant, but it's easy to find. And then what we can do here is it doesn't have anything that we can extrude. We can hold control and click on it, and we might be able to do something with it. But what I would do here would be to make a layer and change the color of it. Make it current, and then we can extract the edges. And so we can come over to the extract edges command, click on that model, hit enter, and you can see, since I put it on that layer, right away what we have to work with. And then we're going to get rid of these lines that we don't need. Now these are individual lines, so if we were to extrude it right now, the 240 millimeter height, what would happen would be we would get a surface. And it looks kind of like a net. And so if we go 240, that's what we would have. So what we want to do is we want to join the edges or create a region out of this. This one we don't need. And so the fastest way is to create a region. And so if we go and select the region command, and then if I use a blue window just to get the top, we've now created that region shape. And then we can extrude that. Pull it up in that direction. And we'll give it the taper angle of 5 degrees. So we'll come over here, taper angle 5, push it up 240, and that's how you would create that extrusion at that taper angle. And we can do the same thing over here. It's the same geometry. If you really want to be quick about it, you could probably just copy it. And so I could say copy this from here to here, and that would work. But if we want to do the process again, we can go through, let's leave it. Alright, the next thing is that we're going to do is we're going to thaw the layer for path. And then we're going to do the same thing. We need to get an entity to extrude about, and so I've been using the extract edges with a different layer, and so I'll make a new layer and then I'll change the color so I can see it. Not too fond of that. Let's try and get something that goes with that color. I don't know if I like that either, but extract the edges. Since we're on layer 2, it'll go to that layer. And then if we have difficulty with the other layers, we can just turn them off. And so we could turn off these 2 layers. And then we're just going to work on the layer 2. And we'll get rid of this geometry. Thaw the layers. Extrude it along a path. And so I didn't region it, so I'm going to have to region it. Make it a boundary shape. Extrude. Select the region. Hit enter, and then we can go along the path. Let's do that in conceptual. And see, that's the difficulty with the visual styles, is you can't always see what we want to get there. Apply a conceptual visual style to that, and then we can taper the bottom of the bases, and so we'll use the taper command, the taper face command, and we'll taper that with a negative 15-degree angle. So we'll select Control 1, 2, Shift middle mouse wheel, Control 3, enter. Specify a base point right here, and then another line along the tapering angle, minus 15. We can do that again. Remember, you can always hover over the commands for additional help in the help screen, and this is why you don't have to carry around a 3-inch book all the time, because of the help commands. So we'll say taper face, hold control to get the sub objects. Not sure if it got that one. I'm going to do that again. Shift middle mouse wheel, or you could grab the view cube. And it looks like I missed one. Control, select, enter, axes 1, taper angle minus 15. Alrighty, next thing we're going to do is put a title block on it, If you right click on one of the layout tabs, and we say from template, you can download a template. Selecting the viewport by double clicking, that would be in tile mode 1 or floating model space. View, zoom, all. View, 3D view. We'll go with the southwest isometric. Instead of visual style, put the lab numbers on. Practice 6-1. Keep the geometry within the title block, neatness counts. You may have to turn off your O-snap, my graphics card. And then of course put your name on it. Alrighty, that completes practice exercise 6-1.